MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by this dog in a lobster costume.
How to make a pizza. It's very simple. All you need is a handful of ingredients. Flour, water, olive oil, tomatoes, mozzarella. And then, the secret ingredients, a telephone, and a credit card.
Okay, Julie, are you all ready to learn how to make a pizza the right way?
Making it great. Yes, I'm ready. Are we going to cook pizzas now?
Well, there's a lot more to it than just cooking. In fact, that's probably the easiest part. But let's start this process at the beginning. First of all, are your hands washed?
Sure are.
Good, mine too.
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. Guys, welcome back to the couch, sitting here with us. As I'm kicking things off on the top of the hour, I want to say don't drop a comment. It's entirely pointless. None of you will actually listen except for the 3 people that regularly do, and we're never going to gain traction and just die down here in the abyss of the YouTube algorithm, mainly thanks to you guys, nothing I did personally. Guys, we love having you here, and today is a very special day because we are back onto Matthew Ellsworth's favorite part of the show's universe, which is the scraps.
Matthew Ellsworth's favorite part of the show universe. We call scraps, and that's what it is. Scraps here, scraps there, scraps everywhere, because this is scraps.
Where the table scraps that fell off that weren't big enough for the main meal or weren't actually movies or our weird little things are going to be discussed. Although it's probably still going to be pretty long of a discussion.
Now what?
So anyway, today we are back into one of our favorite things. Maybe we'll talk about why, because this is a little bit of a different one. The training video. The training video. In our attempt to bring you the highest peak internet content, today we're breaking down another training video. You guys may remember previously we did Matthew's old Hallmark video. Today, from the late 80s, I think 88, 86, 88. You were 2. Pizza Hut's Making It Right.
Great.
Making It Great.
Did you learn nothing from the video?
Just watch it
With
half an hour ago.
about 87 different instructions on how to properly make a 1988 Pizza Hut pizza.
In an abandoned Pizza Hut where nobody cooks nor eat.
That was scary.
Now, guys, there's not any customer interactions in this one, so I did find myself wondering what it is about the training video that is so delectable. Now, you guys have theorized that it's because it's a magical world where nothing goes wrong. I would say that's more the infomercial world where, you know, don't worry, we're going to make sure you can make the 86 apple pies in 5 minutes.
Looks great to me.
And even in the customer training videos, it's resolved, but there's usually a customer problem. In this one, we don't have either of those things. Perhaps it's the false, stilted way of talking.
First of all, there's thin and crispy pizza. Thin and crispy pizza is the original Pizza Hut pizza. Of course, it's been fine-tuned over the years, all part of making it great.
As if there's no such thing as a human being and these things run on perpetual pleasantness that is so enjoyable to watch and chuckle at. But I did find myself wondering, since this wasn't the traditional scenario of customers, why these are... I mean, we're watching 2 women
You still have
in the back of a pizzeria
going at each other.
break down how...
This close to kiss.
It's a lunchtime favorite because it gives our customers that big pizza flavor in a lighter lunchtime size.
They're very close.
This
breaking
close.
down how many inches
But you-
specifically from the edge of the crust and what the friggin' radius is and
Are
fairy
they
dust.
edging each other or they're doing themselves?
You know, I found myself wondering why this is so delightful.
I think it's because manager and new employee interactions, which are you could make
Is
the argument that
relatable.
they're- Yeah, and then you can make the argument that they're similar to customer relations that you would look for in a training video.
Better.
What were we?
You were saying that
Pizza Hut.
it's relatable
Well, I was just wondering why training videos are so enjoyable
I think
for us.
also because
I mean, obviously they were put up online because other people feel this way, but it's just like
I think it's the safety of a first day where you're like, okay, this first day is
no
gonna
real
be
danger
just
yet.
training videos. I'm gonna maybe learn some things, but for the most part, we're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Hey,
You're
imagine
not gonna
this.
throw me.
Imagine they're like, hey, you're gonna. We had a little bit of a scheduling thing, so you're gonna come in Tuesday for your first day. We're not gonna be able to schedule you Wednesday, but Thursday you'll come in and start to work. But don't worry.
Oh wait, actually, sorry, I meant Friday.
Tuesday's just gonna be like we're just gonna go over videos and do some paperwork, and you walk in, you're like, oh look, there's a tear over there. That guy's ringing up a pizza. I'm not gonna be doing that today.
It's just a 2-hour shift. We need you to sign some paperwork. We're
Yeah.
gonna show you the video,
And
and then
not
you're good
only-
for 2 more days.
And I think that is because also the manager or whoever is the instructor looks human.
It seems easy enough.
It is. Just be sure to do it exactly this way every time. Any variance wouldn't be making it great.
Well, she kind of looks like a fish monkey.
Yeah, sure. She looks like a radioactive product from Chernobyl or something like that. But aside from that, it seems that she is genuinely invested into you. Whereas the moment you sign the paper and you're on the first shift, all the bets are off.
Good luck, you little trout sniffer.
Beat that, you little trout sniffer.
There's no more gloves on. They're just like, hey, you're one of us now. It's not that first day gorgeousness.
We roped you in with all the.
But you know that would speak specifically. I guess it's just comedic minds and stilted deliveries. Can we maybe sum it up as an umbrella with that?
Now, if we were pre-rolling thin and crispy pizza crusts for a rush, that's a busy time like dinner, then we would put a separator in between each one and we would mark the separator with the time that we did it.
And again, I know it's not just, I know a lot of people like watching this stuff, but I feel like the comedic brain is attracted to what is probably overwhelmingly going to be stilted delivery. Or not even stilted, but like, it's almost like there's two schools of acting, and when it comes to these videos, it's the bizarro world of what an acting teacher would teach, because everything is very like,
Yes.
what is making a, it's like, no, hold on, can you do more of a tilt and do a, and really let us see the, and then be like, what is a personal pet,
And very rarely the new hire very rarely says, I'm sorry, I didn't understand this. You stupid moron! No, you just like, I'll give you here a
Make it great.
Yeah, exactly. I give you a ton of information. I expect for you to remember them.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And it doesn't, and take all the time you want because our pizza are known for being.
They're placing individual pieces of cheese on the
All right,
pizza.
we got to get into the specifics of this because I understand.
don't.
I understand that
Don't tell us how to live our lives.
there's actually nothing
We
we
can
actually.
have
There's nothing
a
that's
communal
less
sip right now.
needs the word "need" attached to it than breaking down a pizza internet training video for the purposes of this.
I'll let you do this part. What does that mean?
Here, I'll show you.
But we get a lot of very specific, very rigid instructions. I think if I was watching this on the first day, it would just be one of those moments where you have to be like, you'll learn it all eventually, just kind of smile
What
and
did you
nod.
get
and
from the video?
You're not going to take
They made
anything.
They made a pizza.
But I know when you're doing the training thing, you have to do it meticulously, but I've never seen something that's so, like, okay, you need to make, first of all, we need to take this out of the oven. You need to make sure this is not punctured in any way. Then we're going to throw it in the trash. Then we're going to place it down. Then you're going to smear this much sauce on the crust, and you put the cheese here, not here, not there.
We check it for quality. Now this one looks good. First, spread the sauce to within 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the edge. Just remember to spread the cheese evenly and try not to go beyond the sauce, because that would burn and look bad.
We wouldn't want that.
And then you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Even then,
8,
they had to do a transition because it was too long.
24
for her.
pieces of pepperoni.
Here it is. I'll let you do this part. What does that mean?
Here, I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Notice how I started at the outside and worked my way towards the center.
There's no way,
Hey, why
right?
can't you wait? I mean, they have weight
Yes.
waiter scales for money.
Yeah, but I'm
bills.
sure that now they just.
Yeah.
No, I was cracking up on you. The chef's in a rush. He takes a handful of
That was like
pepperoni
24.
and just flings
There.
it so it's like in a ball in the middle of the pizza. Just
Yeah,
stacked.
when
Imagine they grab a handful of sauce, just splat it into the middle of the pizza.
It's coagulated in the middle like a blood clot.
What more could a customer want?
The thing that the two things that hit me the most in this video where the fact that you see a Pizza Hut with servers at a table.
That was
It's no longer a thing, or at
It
least
used to be the full-on restaurant experience.
absolutely.
It was,
Do they still exist anywhere?
I don't know. I think so.
And those stained glass
back
lamps.
then,
Those red clear cups.
fun fact. Pizza Hut was the biggest consumer of kale.
What?
Because before kale became the superfood that now everybody has to eat it, aside from Ozempic, to become lean. And Pizza Hut was using kale as a garnish in their salad bar. They would put because you had the salad bar where you were going to serve
It's
yourself.
sturdy. It holds up.
And you would have all the canister with the food, and in between there was kale. It was a decorative garnish.
Oh, like a separator.
Yeah, something. It's just like a filler, not to show you the grill or whatever it was that was holding the plates.
You know, if I was watching this show, I'd be like,
Wow, that's a hell of a fact.
And the other thing is that nobody's wearing gloves.
They wash their hands though.
First of all, are your hands washed?
Sure are.
Good, mine too.
They wash their
They
hands.
take it at just that in their own word.
Yeah, exactly. And then they grab cheese and they just like.
you know, I only remember the punchline, but I was in In-N-Out Burger 6 years ago before we lived together. And I was staring at the employees must wash hands sign, and I thought of an old Jon Stewart bit. I believe he's on SNL. Forgive me, I forget the setup, but he said,
If you think putting the 10 Commandments up is going to stop violence, then you think employees must wash hands is keeping the urine out of your Happy Meal.
MaJaMa.
You form the dough into a flat circular patty by turning the dough around in your hands and folding the outside edge under. Then you flatten the patty to about 1 inch high by pressing down on top of it. Then you drop it into the top chute on the dough roller.
it's amusing the little things we have to do just to give false comforts. Like, the sign has no power. An employee could just jam their hand up their shit-stained ass and then laugh at it, but it's still there.
And wipe it on the sign as they're walking out.
Or
What is that?
It was.
Not chocolate. Again, never chocolate.
Why is everything in here salty?
It was that famous photo that circulated of the Taco Bell employee who was licking a stack of taco shells.
Yes.
That Taco Bell said one of the most ludicrous excuses, just like oh no, those were training shells. They're not gonna be used for food for we have training shells.
I mean, at a certain point, if you're going to eat fast food, you need to accept you're going to eat feces, urine, dirt, mold. I mean, think about just the soda fountains that no one ever cleans.
Yes.
The gunk and
the order yourself walls that they have at McDonald's and stuff like that. They find the feces on almost. All
You
of
know, I
them.
think beyond my general lackadaisical attitude. Sorry, apathy and attitude. We're mumbling in my mouth like some
Judd
pagan
Apatow.
orgy.
Aptitude?
My Judd Apatow. Other than my apathetic attitude towards life, I do feel like there's a certain logic to not being laissez-faire towards germophobic shit. Because like you said, how are you, first of all, how are you realistically going to actually maintain that? And secondly, how are you realistically going to know what goes on at every fast food place?
You don't.
You know that Joe from the local high school, he's been smoking the Tokies. He's all hopped up on teenage insouciance. And he's in there just friggin' slobbering over your Del Taco. What are you going to do to stop Joe? I don't know if that was the proper use of the word insouciance.
You just find where Joe lives, and you don't hire him.
No more Joes working in fast food. What about Joseph?
The customer will do the rest when they bite into my delicious pizza.
But yeah, I mean, of course, as usual, is a risk. But and you take it both in fast food restaurant as in the high-end restaurant, because
we all know what Tyler Durden was doing in those rich people's soups.
You don't. What?
Tyler also worked sometimes as a banquet waiter at the luxurious Pressman Hotel. He was the guerrilla terrorist in the food service industry.
Do not watch. I cannot go when you watch.
Apart from seasoning the lobster bisque, he farted on meringue, sneezed on braised endive, and as for the cream of mushroom soup, well...
Go ahead. Tell him.
You get the idea.
I feel like that's why I mean, I love waiting to death either way, but I feel like waiting resonates because there really is some sort of like, you know, Clerks touched on it a little bit, but there's something specific to the server experience where like the line.
You know, we should probably feel guilty, but she broke the cardinal rule. Don't fuck with people that handle your food.
It's there's a lot of...
You don't want intentional feces in your food.
Yes. If it's random and by happenstance, all right.
But I feel like waiting gets a little boost beyond just being like kind of a fun, vulgar, talky comedy, just because there's a truth to that. It's a whole lifestyle to work there, and then there's a whole ecosystem of, you know...
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact of like, it's scary to be like, don't piss off the guy that's literally bringing what's going in your mouth.
Like if they're preparing it in front of you, it's something different, but like you're taking it on just faith that they're not going to go back and mess with your food after you've been a total dick to them. Yeah. Like, are you just like, okay, no, they have regulations, or people watching them? Like,
we have to have order in life.
And we check it for quality. Now this one looks good.
Well, how many times when we were watching Restaurant Impossible that he would find, beside the violations that are ridiculous with rats and cockroaches, and that, but even simply the fact that he was saying you're using this thing that goes into the ice or something, and then
sticking up your anus.
Yeah, that was an episode
in
Baltimore, I think. Yes, exactly.
This is mold.
I have bugs all over my table.
This is all dead cockroaches. You have a huge infestation problem here. That's underneath your fryer. That's a refrigerator. Look in there.
Hey, Robert.
Oh, my God!
Just like on a casual look, you see a lot of violations that you say, sure,
Sorry.
Something about the handle or the scoop
I'm
itself?
just imagining Robert Irvine reacting to someone showing him how they start the day, and they stick some sort of food use thing into their anus.
That's the first thing you do.
Oh God, can you imagine getting assaulted sexually by Robert Irvine? Jesus Christ.
Just beating down on you with these gorilla fists. Well, for that matter, every time you have sex with people, think about the disgusting...
You're sleeping with everyone they ever slept with.
Germs, they're spitting into your mouth.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, so Making It Great.
I wanted to talk about the insane regulations we see in this video, which is how we started riffing on the 25 pepperonis.
Regulations.
But, well, just the way she describes her making the
I'm
pizza.
good with regulations.
First we start with the sauce, and you get the right amount from the spec chart. We go to this chart that says bottom, sauce, and cheese. And we go down to where it says sauce, and we see that a small gets 1 level spoon.
There's a lot of unit measuring and spacing between and perforation.
There's a chart on the wall that tells you the weight.
Just all part of Making It Great. What are you getting at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious as to the viability of these I know everyone on the first day to like the first day of the 6th month, you become so much of a different employee. As a you know, a long-time cashier, I understand eventually your hands are just friggin' flying. You're barely thinking about it, and it was so scary on the first day. You're like, but I don't know, the way it's broken down, it's just, it seems you can't do that when you have a Friday night rush. You know, how could you?
Oh, have you ever?
Why are you looking at me?
How do you disperse pepperonis? Like,
no, you don't. It's just like.
I mean, look at all the. Well, I mean, those are probably made on an assembly line, but all the frozen pizzas that you put in the oven, the pepperonis are usually in the clump, and you got to break them apart.
You know,
very.
A lot.
Right.
Because there is I remember seeing a video. I think it was taken with a GoPro. I don't know how they're called, but people who prepare sandwiches for McDonald's.
Sandwich preparers.
Okay. During a rush hour. And forget the, you know, just like SpongeBob, but yeah.
You know, I was discussing this today. It's an incredibly dickish, and one may even say oblivious and naive attitude to think that fast food is easy work. It seems like one of the hardest jobs a human being could have. Not to mention that probably every dickwad that walks in just automatically looks down on you. I bet you they do.
Especially if you're the one dealing with customers and making the food, having to deal with the complaints.
Like, what is it? Just because,
that combination
is it because
is
of societal stigmas? Like, I can't picture. It's like, why there is no position more important in a society than garbage men, but they're not lauded. And yet, name me another position where if they strike, we're going to feel the effects. Like, look, I'm an entertainment lover and defender. I'll make the argument that you guys can't call entertainment useless and they're on strike now. You'll miss your shows. But still, at the same time, even me, entertainment versus garbage collectors, all of a sudden everything's just sitting in the streets for weeks. And it's just very funny how everyone thinks fast food is just such a pathetic, useless job, as if like someone with one brain cell who can only do this can do it. And it's like, yeah, maybe the basic mechanics, but like you said, making the food in the back and the rush of it. And
easy, sensitive. Okay. We get it. Your job's important.
I don't work that job.
Yeah, okay.
First of all, I've always considered that any job is important, and there is no looking down at somebody.
I believe him too.
I mean, I understand.
I wouldn't believe most people that told me that sentence.
What about someone who sells their farts in a jar?
Aside from that, no, but
is it the girl from 90 Day Fiancé does that?
It's
she got an infection from it too. I don't know how you get an infection from your own farts, but
It's just a little magic ingredient that we have for making it great.
Okay.
Unless you are like Kevin Spacey in American Beauty, who says,
Actually, I'd like to fill out an application.
There's no jobs for manager, it's just for counter.
Good. I'm looking for the least possible amount of responsibility.
aside from that, where you say, oh, you're selling yourself short. But any job to me is, it's an important job. It is not that there is no idea, and especially people who look down at you, they're usually dicks who had either their family had already an office or something, and they found themselves everything done, wherever they never really worked one day in their lives, they found a position like that. And second of all, every job is complicated. When I was a kid, that I was saying, I want to become, as a stupid kid, I was saying, before I found out the existence of writing, I was saying, I want to become an actor. And everybody was telling me, oh, but it's very hard. But do you think that having, I don't know, a butcher shop of success is easy? It's still hard.
Doing anything, really.
Everything. If you want to do something well, everything
if you
is.
just want to do something, like
if you want to do something.
If you want to start up your own sandwich stand for a day and do it shittily, that's the lesson we came to see with the movies. That's the inspiration behind the show. Is like you could watch a piece of shit movie and that still was like 3 days of someone's hard ass work,
Yeah.
even if it turns out unwatchable and even it was looked like it was made with apathy. And that is an argument I will forget every time we review Asylum movies.
Why did you bring up our movie specifically?
I didn't. You guys are the ones that trash our movie. I'm always very loving.
All right, relax, okay?
You guys are the ones who
Man,
rather
you're sensitive.
suck a f***ing barrel of a shotgun.
Really
than to say
overly
something
sensitive about your life decisions.
Anyway, listen. No one's.
He made decisions?
No one's.
Your life consequences.
No one's putting that many pepperonis on in a circle. It's just not realistic.
No, you just go with whatever. This is because after a while you also learn the weight and how much you grab, and
yeah, I don't.
I don't think for a second that they go with the scale and say, oh no, what one more.
Oh.
Maybe in a high-end restaurant, yes, they pay attention to how much your fillet weight, but also it takes you half an hour to receive whatever you ordered. In a fast food, you expect fast. Hence the name.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how, you have to have this balance where you're like, I need to make a training video where we tell you to meticulously place the pepperonis. We understand it won't happen, but there has to be order in this world to a degree. And it's just this juggling
act. Was that the disclaimer at the beginning of the training video?
It was a disclaimer, yes.
We understand you're not going to do any of this, but there has to be order in this world.
Everything you learn here, forget it.
Welcome to our existentialism tape. Pop this in. We know you've been feeling a little rough around the edges lately.
Delicious pan pizza and delicious thin and crispy pizza. What more could a customer want?
Personal pan pizza.
What?
That's another important product you'll need to know about.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
MaJaMa.
Now, we just put it here on the conveyor. Notice how the pizza starts completely outside of the oven. It'll be done in just a few minutes. These ovens are calibrated to perfectly cook a pizza as it travels through the oven.
It's just funny to me. You have to try and be like, well, there's a regime here, but then you're like, in 6 weeks you'll be coming in high and just flinging the pepperonis.
6 weeks? All right, now. When do we eat the pizza?
Yeah. As I told you.
Don't eat the pizza.
I told you.
Put the pepperoni down like I told you. Put the pepperoni down like I told you.
I had to beep 3 times.
Sorry, man. That's not how YouTube works. This is supposed to be a place of freedom. Corporate overlords everywhere.
Sounds good.
I don't like when people say this fast food chain is utterly disgusting because it's very irritating. Like, it's a mega fast food chain. Do you know how many people eat there? And it just really irritates me. They'll be like, oh, man, Burger King? It's friggin' gross slop. Like, who would ever stop there? It's like, dude, shut up. You know, just shut up. Like, so many people eat there. It's a huge corporation.
It's the thing that they say. What they don't say in that situation is, oh, this is disgusting to me. They don't say that. They want to feel. It's the same reason why people buy organic, because it's I'm holier and healthier than thou. They make them feel better, which fine. If you have money to throw away, I'm absolutely fine. But
maybe I just realized maybe this is a specific training video to the restaurant Pizza Hut, and this is not what they do for their to-go orders.
No, they talk about it.
Now, if it's a carry-out, you have to use one of those boxes. Make sure to use a box support and an insert. If the pizza is going to be served here, you'll put it back in the pan and place the pan and a spatula on a cork pad in the pickup area.
They spend.
This, like Matteo says, when you go to a restaurant, you have a little longer wait. So maybe this is like
no. They show one part which like you're putting it in a box for to go, or you're going to put it back into the tray to serve at the table.
Oh.
But back then, Pizza Hut was actually more.
That was a great game. Hey, what do you say we grab?
Dad, we ate that last week.
Hey, I've got it. How about some?
Again? How about something different this time?
How about
Pizza Hut? Pan pizza. All right.
Pan pizza at Pizza Hut. When you're looking for specialized cheese, lots of tasty toppings.
How about next week we
Pan pizza
at your hometown Pizza Hut.
I remember when I came here in Westwood in '92 for the first time, there was a gigantic Pizza Hut restaurant in the middle of Westwood, and it was doing much less. It was much more. The room was almost constantly filled. It was almost like, oh, we're better than McDonald's. Let's go to Pizza Hut. It's a step up.
It does seem like an elevated meal.
Yeah, it gives you the idea.
Because you don't get your food and walk it to the table yourself.
There was also a salad bar.
Yes, and you have.
Wasn't there?
We just had a whole discussion on it. Very interesting. Don't touch my hand. We just talked about the kale.
And there was also.
No more bananas, no more bananas, no more bananas.
Yeah.
The waiters who are bringing the pizza to you.
Yeah.
Waiters, servers.
Like they're your slaves for 20 minutes. You feel good about yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Route 18, man. Remember?
Was that our Pizza Hut?
Yep.
I don't.
Well, add it to the list.
Right.
Yeah, there is still a couple of brain cells.
You remember the Book It program? X-Men Cups?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Land Before Time puppets?
No, all that, but I don't remember,
they had
I don't remember the
Oh,
Route 18.
dude.
The Land Before Time puppets were everything.
Now we'll always be together.
And now these lovable characters can be your child's friends too. With a pizza from Pizza Hut, a Land Before Time dinosaur is only 99 cents. So come to Pizza Hut. Your friends are waiting.
We'll always be together. Pizza Hut, making it great.
I remember I don't know if we were looking for them for a while, but I remember
in the shower?
Yeah, we were both in the bathtub. My dad came home.
This was last year.
And he jumped in the bathtub too, for some strange reason.
My dad came home from a business trip, and I guess
I don't think it was a business trip. I think it was a work day.
No, it was special. And he dumped.
We had one, I think, and he
a
dumped
pizza
all others.
in the bathtub. Here's your pizza.
All the Land Before Time hand puppets into the bathtub
wow.
with us. It was pretty fun. So I think we had duplicates. Ducky.
They were in their plastic bags.
Had that. No. Yeah, Ducky had the little thing in the back of its head. A little nib, and you could push it in.
You know, I was always wondering the answer to this, and then I saw a box set in Target. There are 14 of those films.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Which means that they probably realistically span from what we grew up on until like we were, at least in early college days?
There's probably one from last year.
Probably. Because now with the computer, they can make them. They don't need great stories.
Yeah.
I think
what are they all called?
bad stories?
The Revenge of Littlefoot's knee. So
it's very famous.
Getting back to making it great.
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 Yes, and then they spend very rushed, but they spend the Priazzo.
When it comes to preparing Italian pie, the Viola sisters agree on only one thing. It should have the finest Italian sausage. At Pizza Hut, we couldn't agree more. Introducing our newest Priazzo Italian pie. A blend of zesty Italian sausage, green peppers, onions, and cheeses. New Priazzo Portofino. We think it's delicious, and we believe that even the Viola sisters would agree.
We've watched this tape before,
classic
but I
Italian
don't remember
dish.
diving into what the Priazzo is.
As we were told by you, you grew up eating it, correct?
Classic, yeah, oh yeah, I remember when every morning, hey, your Priazzo is ready. Here it is. The hell is this?
Stuff in your backpack.
It looks really good.
It does look like Matteo said, it looks like a pizza lasagna.
Yes, it's a mixture.
Although I've had back in Jersey, there's a spot that made calzone pizza, which is pretty bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of pizza, just you put an extra layer of crust on top.
A&S cheesesteak pizza.
I never had it.
You wouldn't like it beyond the cheese and
The
steak.
chizza.
Chizza.
Kukitza.
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 It smells like a pizzeria in here.
Kathy, it smells like a pizzeria in here.
Oh, I know.
They tried to open Pizza Hut in Italy. They opened 6.
They don't have it?
No.
Really?
Here's what I've learned. What we think
kind of
as
invented
pizza.
pizzas.
Wait, no, I thought it was an American thing.
No. Pizza is, when we think of pizza, we think of New York, even though the Italians invented it. What everyone's like, oh, good pizza. When you go to, and this is by his words, when you go to Italy, you're not going to get what you're thinking.
No,
it's going to be
but
some weird stuff, and what you're really talking about is a New York pie.
No, yes. But I thought in Italy, pizza was more like a flatbread with cheese without sauce.
Originally,
Outside,
it was
at
a flatbread, which was focaccia, pretty much. And then this guy, Christopher Columbus, came to, well, he kind of like missed America because he went more in Colombia, hence the name. But whatever. He brought tomatoes to Europe. And so they started to use them, to crush them onto the focaccia, and hence pizza was born.
Oh.
And then all the immigrants who came to America, the easiest thing that they knew how to make, and it is very hard to screw up, is pizza, because you need flour, water, and tomato.
Or you can just buy it at the store too.
Or you buy it at the store.
Check.
But almost the vast majority of immigrants who were coming here, they would open a pizzeria.
That's what our grandpa did.
There you go.
What were we just listening to?
But
where it
not
was like,
Priazzo. No Priazzo whatsoever.
Well, it sounds like it was a Pizza Hut invention, right?
Yeah.
And they said they used a name generator with.
Yes.
They wanted something with a P and 2 Z's.
A double Z. Pizza. Oh.
What?
So wait, where'd the name pizza come from?
They just made it up.
Pizza in slang in Italy is also a slap on the face. I give you a pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
Arriva sta pizza! A Marescia, io ho detto una pizza napoletana.
A pizza in my mind?
Doubtful, but...
Which came first?
The eggs.
What?
So we also are introduced to a very racist chart that we're referenced for our toppings called, Jason, what was it called?
Oh, the spec chart.
Jesus, I didn't even think you were going to say it.
First, we start with the sauce, and you get the right amount from the spec chart.
So that's what they use, and they...
Should I bleep that?
They determine the size and the weight of each ingredient you're putting on for what size pizza you're making.
And the order of the toppings.
Yes.
Got it. Green peppers next?
Yes. Did you look at the spec chart?
Uh-huh.
So
yes.
First the pepperoni, then bell peppers,
They're
and
putting
then
some
cheese.
very large green peppers. Like,
You know,
why don't you cut it up into pieces?
You got to think sometime when you have a brain that just you shrug off everything. Well, how do you get people to make pizzas all the time? You have to have something like the spec chart. You know?
Stop using the name.
We all want to laugh at it. We all want to laugh at it. But how do you control life? You know?
You understand life? Step 5. How do you control life?
I already ordered a pizza.
Do you want me to order a pizza?
Whatever, I don't care.
I already ordered a pizza.
You think about everything.
It's making me think a lot about the rules.
Hey, we think about a pizza. Jesus, can we wrap this up and just get pie already?
It's making me think a lot about the rules we apply on ourselves because we have to try to do something, you know? How would you tell this first day employee how to make a pizza?
Just
go crazy. Just go crazy. You'll figure it out.
MaJaMa. Now, pan pizza proofs individually in the pans, but thin and crispy pizza dough rises in this container.
Grab some dough from the garbage can, weight it, just like put it in there, slap some slobbery things.
They must have thrown out so much dough. I mean, if they actually stuck. I mean, then again.
She says if it's not perfect, we throw it out.
Yeah.
So, if the dough isn't exactly right, we throw it out and we get another one that is.
Not only that, she says that the pre-made dough for the thin
pre-made dough?
Thin crust after half an hour they would actually throw it away.
Yeah, half hour.
Was getting
I mean, we've all worked at grocery stores. Some of us forever, and we'll die there.
And forever.
Forever.
But we know how much waste that is produced by a
Yes.
grocery store that doesn't even get recycled or get donated because illegally or just to protect the company, you can't do that. So just
And
think
also
about how
because,
much is
which
wasted.
is another thing, the overhead, because you have to find a way to box it and send it to some. So
there's probably just garbage bags full of raw dough that people are breaking into the dumpsters and
absolutely.
just chewing on.
If it doesn't look just right, we have to throw it away and start over.
Check.
I don't like people growing up genuinely. I thought it was a gimmick, but now that I'm older, I realize it's actually real, and I get bitter about it. Like, why did they want to do that? Why wasn't everyone like, let's just stay here with pizza and cartoons, and we're going to make sure none of us ever leave?
Speaking of pizza.
Oh, yeah, exactly. What are you talking about?
We also need to touch on their magical
Fairy
topping.
dust.
Fairy dust, which is what they called cocaine in 1980s Manhattan gay clubs.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
And now it's time for the fairy dust. This amazing substance is fairy dust, and it magically transforms our ingredients into the perfect Pizza Hut pizza.
Come on.
Okay. Actually, it's a careful blend of cheese and spice, but it really does give our pizzas that extra delicious touch.
Just how much of a time period are we in if we were mildly popular? Would we have actual troubles for making fairy dust jokes? Would it matter at all that you're gay? Would all of it mean nothing? Would we be considered ogres? Would there be like a you did not cross? These are genuine questions I have. I want to make nonstop jokes about the fact that fairy is an old school slur for gay. But is it just completely like if we even had a little bit of like, dude, what are you doing? Don't watch MaJaMa. We don't talk like that. I don't even care if one of them is them. It's one of those things. One of them's on the actual show. You know?
If I stay silent, I can be quietly offended and just.
You're like, I was mad the whole time. I was just scared of,
So that's something you guys are going to need to deal with.
I do believe in fairies! I do believe in fairies.
I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. I do.
I do believe in fairies. I do
believe in fairies! I do!
I do wonder these things. Because I had a whole 20 minutes played on fairy. Yeah, it must be a blissful life, Matteo, but, it's just because you've had the fear already. I bet that young 19-year-old Matteo Molinari, when he found out that, the gum station was not going to advertise anymore, you had a moment of fear. Then you just got beaten down, Try to remember that young man who hadn't been slapped around by the worst of Italy for a minute.
Well, I grew up in a country where the N-word was fine, and it's still used to this day, so...
Well, technically it's kind of here too. Just
yes, but no, at least over there is not derogatory. I mean, it still is, but it's how can I say? It's used because that's well, Easy Rider. There is a line that says something like.
Knock for the mother.
Doggone it, I wouldn't even made him up in one of those black wenches out there.
The Italian dubbing from 1969 or 70 when they dubbed is
Quello non piacerebbe neanche a sua madre. Facciamolo accoppiare con una nostra battona.
Wait, you said you wanted to see this film?
yes. That there is a moment where they are derogatory terms. They
so they just took it upon themselves to put that word.
They made the strange equivalence that guys with long hair equal gay.
Oh, someone at work was telling me about the Perrier joke of Heather's, which I didn't know about, but it's hysterical. They drop a Perrier bottle until the cops think they're gay, which is objectively hysterical.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
What?
But anyways, the thing is that my personal philosophy is, yes, I try not to make
friends with homosexuals.
Too late.
Too late for that.
You got one in your house?
Look at his year-old pictures. It's crawling with him.
Stop cursing. We should have some sort of punishment when we curse.
Yes. Put $10,000 in that jar. I don't have a jar. Give me $10,000. I go buy a jar, and then you
buy me a jar.
Yes.
Step one.
Now what?
Put a thumbtack in your temple. Not all the way in.
My personal philosophy.
Speaking of gay, man, look at how you're sitting with your little tight little short shorts.
I've been
pulled up to your thighs.
I've been doing this more and
lip,
more.
Wrist, hand hanging over the edge. My God.
I've been doing this more and more, and it feels very comfortable, and I feel comfortable with doing it.
I don't understand how anyone's.
I always wonder, just how.
This is stain?
Oh yeah, so Matthew asked me to get a soda.
Okay.
It's literally this is the same thing this is. He asked me to get a soda, and the Fanta just bukakied out all over me.
It's actually.
It looks pretty artistic, though, right?
Bloody semen.
Yeah, no, I thought that it was
cool.
I thought it was a design, and instead, no, it's just like that. Well, anyways.
I mean, if you think about it, if blood mixed with semen, it would be sort of an orangey peach color.
That's right.
I told you it was peach soda, Dad. Leave me alone. Why you keep asking?
Why you keep
stringy peach
Why you
soda?
keep wearing white?
I
peach soda smells like the ocean. Go ahead.
Look at that seafoam.
How can I go ahead now? No, but
this is the best.
I don't think they cleaned the nozzle properly.
This is the greatest thing we've ever done with our lives.
The best thing to do is in set of circumstances like this. If somebody accuses you to do something, it's saying nothing. Whatever you say, you make it worse. So,
no, I've actually heard that.
So if they think that you are, I don't know, homophobic, for instance, there's nothing you can say to change their mind.
Exactly.
Okay,
right?
I say, there's nothing you can say. Exactly. But we cannot show it. We cannot show it on.
What more can I do? We can do two.
And if you try to do something, you get even worse. So my philosophy is I know exactly where I'm standing. I'm an equal opportunity offender. And if people get offended, it's their problem.
So we're going ahead with the fairy dust jokes.
Whoa, fairy dust.
That's right.
And then Paul Lynn sachets in. Oh, my goodness. So fairy dust is a unique blend of cheeses and spices.
I'm wondering if fairy dust is the seasoning that goes on top of the breadsticks. Because that Italian seasoning, whatever it is pretty damn bomb.
It's possible. It looks like there's, yes.
What do you think there was, there had to be corporate meetings that approved them to use that?
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting to think about.
It could have been a more innocent time. Then again, fairy also does seem like a dated homosexual slur.
It was probably really popping in the 80s. Like, it seems like in the 80s, a lot of people would have been like, look at that fairy.
Yes, but I guess it was probably equally as popular as...
I have this product. It's good power. Can we call it fairy dust? All right, better. Much better.
But please use that. Just be it.
Just put up a picture of him with his arm around a dude.
Powder.
Sorry, I like it, but
listen, we ran this by a couple focus groups, Can we just go with fairy dust? Although I'm a little turned off by the logo of a limp wrist.
Very careful with the amount of shakes you're doing, too.
Yes.
And we're very careful about the number of shakes we use. You can check the spec chart for the right amount.
You really do call it fairy dust.
That's right.
Shake it too much, she's playing
She
with it.
doesn't say how many. She says it's written on the chart, but she doesn't say how many.
Whatever feels right before getting an erection.
And then the video ends. And then the video ends. The video ends with her saying, now it's time to learn how to make a filet of fish. And she says, we don't serve that here. And then she viciously grabs her by the neck and shoves her head down.
Yeah, because at the end, she says something that is very suggestive, like...
The customer will do the rest when they bite into my delicious pizza.
Yeah, and then the...
The fact that I'm trying to make any sort of semblance to rational discussion
I'm
about
sorry. We got to steer this ship back on course to properly break down the Pizza Hut internet training video that we're making for content.
That's probably the easiest part.
We receive a call from Pizza Hut. I like your ideas.
I like that.
Now, and then the Priazzo has that medieval iron maiden.
Oh yeah, the perforator.
First
It's
the
a pretty
perforator.
cool
It's
idea
time for
'cause
the perforator.
It gets
it's time for the perforator.
It gets hot and then the metal's gonna heat up all the way into the inside.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea, but it does look like a medieval torture device.
Well, we use one of these heat pins to make sure all the ingredients are completely cooked. The heat pin helps make sure the heat is evenly distributed, but otherwise the cooking procedure is the same.
That's some pie.
Something
Plus,
you'd have to be
how they
set
hang
on.
it on the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
You grab somebody. Okay, these are 5 minutes of punishment.
And what does it do so we don't get air bubbles in the crust?
No.
No, the Priazzo is just like to perforate the whole thing
Man,
because
your
it's,
trainer
it's
would
something
be
that's this
furious.
thick. Yeah.
Do you need to see the video again? I'm not gonna give you any more information.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that there is.
And we abruptly ends.
It is
Yes,
very abrupt.
That's
Yes.
yeah.
Otherwise the cooking procedure is the same.
That's some pie.
MaJaMa.
When any pizza is completely out of the oven to the last inch, we check it for quality. It has to look great or it doesn't go to the customer.
This one looks great to me.
We should comment on the girl's enthusiasm.
Of course.
For making it great and
as per usual.
Putting herself in the customer's shoes and saying how she wouldn't want a pie if it was burned.
We're always careful to avoid center loading the topping because it could cause the pizza to be undercooked in the middle.
I wouldn't want that if it was my pizza.
Maybe that's what it is. Oh, that's why I was chuckling, because I had that guy at work who was 19, and he was like, let me ask you something, man. If you see this seat's dirty, you think a customer's going to want to come in and sit down? And I'm like, how old are you? Like, shouldn't you be like, let's set this place on fire?
I was the one who took a shit on it.
And also there is...
It's crazy that, yeah, I mean, yes, especially 19.
And there is also the one thing that I rarely saw. I've rarely seen a trainer one-on-one. Usually there is the trainer and there are like 10 trainees where they explain everything. Instead of seeing one-on-one in a desolated restaurant.
No one else making pizzas in the meantime, but
yeah, exactly,
you,
yes.
knocking you in the forehead with
Maybe
elbows. But she's very earnest, and
yes. She has already her visor.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
If that doesn't pan out, she can actually go and deal cards.
The employee enthusiasm shown in these things, maybe that's the pleasure, is the unrealism.
During rush times, we might prep a few thin and crispy pizza shells in advance so that we can get them in the oven quickly.
Because our customers count on us to make it fast.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also sad to think that no one would ever be happy to get these jobs.
I mean, who would ever be happy to get any job?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what people like Dad, they don't do that, and so that's why we have a gap in humor, because we go to that as the knee-jerk, and then he's like, I'd love it, buddy. I was happy to be at the burger stand. Let's make some money.
He's just saying that out of spite for us.
No. There's different people, man, and the sense of humor doesn't work.
I mean, when it comes down to it, like, if I were to ask everyone at work, like, would you rather be here, would you rather be anywhere else you could possibly think of, what psychopath
Nazi-occupied Germany.
would be...
Well?
Yeah, that's pretty much, I guess it's...
The manager got a stupid ass tie.
Yes, and she has
Did
bulging
they wear
eyes.
those hats?
Yes.
Those hats the girl?
No, but she should have worn a hairnet. Neither of them wore hairnets.
No gloves, no hairnet,
Nothing.
and probably not underwear either.
No. You can see it leaking from inside.
That's another fairy dust.
Looks like some of the Priazos on the floor. Nope, that's just my afterbirth.
It's placenta. Okay.
Look at how similar they look. Oh, can you tell?
Which one is it?
Sometimes I forget which one's going out.
Exactly. And I have a bucket full of it here.
How much afterbirth are you pregnant now?
Don't open that can of worm, which is also over there, the can of worm.
Is there anything we forgot?
Probably a lot. You didn't pay attention to anything.
Yes, you don't remember. Even if you pay attention, you don't remember it. So.
Yeah, a lot of rules if you want to work at Pizza Hut, guys. You know, I think we're gonna do our favorite line.
All right,
Matthew.
Get powder.
No,
I imagine coming in a very large industrial can, like a jar, can of Ajax you use to clean the bathroom.
With confetti and just a sprinkle.
When you've got a clog there, nothing gets it out like a.
This episode will be very beeped. Bleeped.
Okay, it has to be a line from the video.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Who made those rules?
I made the rules for
Who
the
made
show.
those
I'm the
rules?
host.
I'm not following them.
It has to be a line from the video.
It's a line from the episode from Mateo.
You can't quote a line from the episode.
I can quote whatever I want. It's a free country.
All right, Mateo.
I cannot quote it exactly, but I like the enthusiasm where she shows that she has learned at the chart.
This order is for a medium pan pizza with pepperoni and green pepper. So what do we put on first?
I don't know. Oh, I look on the spec chart, right?
Right.
Let's see.
There is so much enthusiasm.
We don't want to wait to get the pizza to those customers. Yeah.
What's the one where she laughs?
I like the one where she's like, I know the customers are going to be eating a pizza made by me.
The customer will do the rest when they bite into my delicious pizza.
Well, guys, I think we really did something here.
We did definitely something.
If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. If you want to see us break down more training videos and use more homosexual slurs, like and subscribe.
And if you didn't like it, send it to 10,000 of your friends and tell them to subscribe.
Listen, why don't you guys even hate comment? It just feels so bad. You know, I spent my whole friendship with Mateo talking about the talk good about me, talk bad about me, but talk about me. And my God, it's never been so true. No one's even like, hey, you guys suck. Everyone's just like, nope, you're just in a void. So drop a comment that you think the show's stupid. Do something. We love you guys. And you guys.
That's endorsing.
And you guys.
You have to go a little, to go there, you have to...
No, don't.
You guys.
Yes, now it's better.
More so you than anyone else who's been watching the show. And we'll be back next week with an all-new episode where we're on the couch jamming about something crazy. So come on back, guys.
How original.
Come on back. Come on over. Let's talk about it.
Yes, in the closet.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.